This is the fourth installment of the explanation of my creative hierarchy. So far, we've covered, it's a 5-tier hierarchy, and so far I've covered, I don't know why I keep saying we, it's me, there's nobody else. The 5th tier is therapeutic. The 4th tier is hobbyist, the hobbyist tier. The 3rd tier is the professional tier, and now we're on to the amateur tier. The amateur, at its best, can be like the 1st tier, which is the artist, and at its worst is a dilettante. The amateur is someone who does not have to rely on the creation of their art or have any intention on the creation of their art in order to make a living. Okay. They don't put any economic pressure on the creation of their art. So, and actually they share that with the 1st tier, the artist. The artist, however, the artist is very, very interested in making as much money as possible from his or her art. So the artist is interested in making money from their art, and usually, eventually, their art makes money. They may not. But if somebody's truly an artist, eventually what they have put into the world will make money. I mean, there's the obvious examples of people like Van Gogh or William Blake or someone like that. They create with an eye towards making money, but they do not make choices in order to make money. You know, someone else who's an example of that is someone like Robert Altman. Robert Altman was surprised when his movie Nashville was beaten by Jaws at the box office when they opened on the same weekend. Because Altman had a commercial success and an artistic success with MASH. But Nashville, he had developed as an artist and he had gone further. An artist cannot make a decision based on money. An artist is always going to make a decision based on authenticity and truth. So I think I'm going to change this. This is about the top 2 tiers. This is about the amateur and the artist. Now, what's the difference with the amateur? The amateur does the work with no financial pressure. The amateur can become an artist, or on the downside, the amateur can be a dilettante. But even if the amateur is a dilettante, he or she is still on a higher tier than the professional, because at least the amateur is honoring virtues of authenticity in their work. I just saw a movie last night that actually it was on the artist level. It was bad art. Clouds of Sils Marie. It was terrible. But if someone produced that as a vanity project, it was a vanity project, but I believe it was produced with other people's money. But if someone produced that as a vanity project for themselves, that's a work of very high ideals and very, very low content and insight. That's what the amateur can do. But I rank the amateur over the professional because the amateur is in a circumstance where the purity of their motives they're in a position where it can be higher than that of a professional. So therefore, it actually has more value, because no matter how aesthetically well put together something is, you know, Robert Downey Jr. could be a great actor, but he's still in the Avengers. You know, I mean, it sucks. So it's probably the best way to explain the amateur in relation to the artist. Okay, so there's one more of these videos to go, and that is the one about the artist.